The crooked dirty bird Atlanta Falcons are in the midst of a mini house cleaning, and a name on the chopping block is that a former Pro Bowler and All-Pro running back Devonta Freeman. Here are 3 reasons why the Vikings should be in on the soon-to-be 28-year-old running back. And now, first off, yes, let's get this out of the way. You saying sign a running back, bro? Get out of here, please. And also, I like how all the haters, when I make fun of them in the videos, it's like I'm spasming. Yeah. But first off, yes, running back is a devalued position. Yes, young and cheap is way better than old and expensive, and Devonta Freeman is getting up there, as well as his 5-year, $41.25 million extension that he signed in 2017 has been an abject failure. Like, it's been a disaster. He hasn't cracked 1,000 yards since signing that deal, as well as he hasn't played a full 16-game season, and in fact, he missed 14 games in 2018. So fully understand that. I fully understand my general hypocrisy of like, hey, running back is still an important position in this league, but also there's such a high attrition rate that just like it's like Star Trek red shirts. Just keep bringing them in as cannon fodder, as you don't necessarily want to hitch your wagon long term to a running back in today's NFL. But also, I think the Vikings, just tangent off here, we've been sort of brainwashed as a franchise and a fan base. It's like, oh, we have to trade all these picks for Herschel Walker. We have to do that up. It's like, oh, we have to build around Adrian Peterson. Well, Adrian never won a single playoff game without Brett Favre. It's like, well, he didn't have a good quarterback. Exactly. Because it's quarterback league. Yeah. Anyways, but with Freeman, the reasons why there's tons of reports about him potentially being cut by the Falcons, he's due to count $9.5 million $9.5 million against the Falcons' 2020 salary cap with $6 million dead. Even though, yeah, they're not getting a ton of cap relief, it does seem to be that there's a mini refresher going on with Dimitroff and Dan Quinn. Even though it's a little weird. It's like, all right, so you're having a mini rebuild on, with a couple of dudes who are probably on the hot seat, Dimitroff and Quinn. It's sort of like if Spielman and Zimmer went in for a full mini rebuild. Oh, wait, they are. So this is just a very odd situation. But with Freeman, he only ran for 656 yards on 184 carries and an anemic 3.6 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns in 14 games in 2019 with the Falcons. But Atlanta had a lot of problems last year. They were a mess up front. There's a lot of blame to go around for the offensive line. Play calling certainly was an issue. And overall, they were just a very poopy football team last year. Really taking the shine off that week 1 win. But yeah, it is what it is. Freeman also missed all but 2 games in 2018, like we mentioned, due to foot and groin injuries. So all that being said, so you have older, coming off a big contract, and injury prone, and recently relatively ineffective running back. But hey, bring him on in. So here are 3 reasons. Number 1, his relationship with Dalvin. Devonta and Dalvin went to the same high school, Miami Central, back in the day. Dalvin was a freshman on that team when Devonta Freeman was a senior, just tearing things up. Both went to Florida State, obviously, but also no overlap there. Devonta went 2011-2013. Dalvin went 2014-2016, but both were studs, big men on campus there in Tallahassee. Both they have a close relationship, and frankly, I think Devonta would be a good influence as a quasi-mentor on Dalvin Madison and as well as Mike Boone as well. Number 2, be a perfect scheme fit. Now, here's where it gets nuts. So, when did Devonta Freeman have his best years? 2015, 2016, when he went back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, as well as being a 2-time Pro Bowler and was second-team All-Pro in 2015. Who was the OC? Who was the offensive coordinator? Oh, Kyle Shanahan. Where did Kyle Shanahan learn all of his stuff? Gary Kubiak. Well, as well as his daddy. Sure. So they run a similar scheme, especially in the running game. Freeman balled out in the outside zone scheme. Falcons' offense has been a mess for the last 3 years, starting to get away from that. And frankly, he hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked good. They haven't really built the offense around him, where you've seen in the offense that Gary Kubiak is going to be bringing to the table. Devonta Freeman has succeeded in a similar offense in the not-so-distant past. Reason number 3 to bring him in, he's going to be cheap. He's going to be cheap. Right, because if and when the Falcons cut him loose, I don't see him getting a big contract for agency. I just don't. Like, I don't see a team just going like, hey, that Le'Veon Bell contract, that worked out, so let's do that again. I would not be shocked if he gets near or at league minimum. It's one of those situations. So question is, who'd you rather have, Devonta Freeman who has shown that he has extremely high ceiling in the not so distant past, but a little bit of a rehab project. But you need him at, can you get him at $1.5 million, or would you rather have Amir Abdullah at $1 million a year? Where, again, respect, Amir Abdullah was a pretty solid contributor in special teams, but also if you're looking to hit a home run at the RB4 spot, Also, Freeman, like we said, can still contribute, especially in the passing game. He had 59 catches, 410 yards, 4 touchdowns last year on 70 targets. So I think that if and when Atlanta cuts him loose, could be a low-risk, decent reward spot. Also, if Freeman could potentially stop Dalvin from holding out, it's like, hey, man, show up and then you get paid. Or, hey, man, Devonta's going to take my job. And I don't see Devonta necessarily going out to San Francisco, because I think that they have so much young talent in that running back room that I don't think that there's a spot for him. But, if they do that and then San Francisco cuts Jerick McKinnon, bring Jet home for all of the reasons that we just listed before. But, yeah. Anyways, your thoughts. Devonta Freeman, if and when the Falcons cut him loose, bring him here to the Vikings. Let us know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, below some of the Venmo. But give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.